This is wonderful. So thank you. Thank you so much for being at the miracle sessions today. So the music calmed me down, calmed you down probably too. It was very quiet. Suddenly it was very quiet, like it fell apart. I loved it. I loved it. So it's a great start, because this is what we're here for. Has everything to do with allowing ourselves to fall apart, to in fact be born again. That would be the second part of it. But at least you can give yourself, lose your protection in order to fall apart a little bit, or completely if you want. So welcome to Miracle Sessions. It is 2 lessons that we're looking at today. One of them is really about the undoing of how you see, and the other one is really about Christ's vision. And I thought it was great to have the 2 set. And so the first one is then lesson 8 from Urtext of A Course in Miracles, and using this to see, what is it that we're seeing? What is this that we're seeing? Where is this? What is taking place, and who is looking at it? What is happening? Because that you're convinced of your world and the reality of it is it's not to be mistaken about, so to speak. It's obvious. It is very much so for you. So that means the world that you see, you made it real for yourself and you believe in it, and it is really true for you. So how does this all fit into waking up out of a dream of death, and how does this fit in Christ's vision? Can it ever come to us if we believe that this is our reality? So that is really something that we're taking a look at today, because it seems impossible. It seems impossible that you're looking at a world that you made real for yourself and not believing that it's true, and giving it up in order for a different experience of yourself. That's like the last thing you want to do, right? So that's the fun of coming together, because before you know it, something happens when we come together. You see that the ideas that you took so serious a moment ago are just dissolving. They're just suddenly becoming more less dense. There's a bit more space between your thoughts. Suddenly there's an opportunity that something else could be true. Or who is actually looking at what? What am I observing, and who's this I that I'm looking with? Who is it that I see? What is it that I see? And how real is this I that sees this? Hey, you know these questions, right? So now it is really up to you to allow yourself a new experience of yourself. Because if you keep holding on to the idea that you hold about yourself, there's no need for me to share anything with you. Because literally I enter into this place with you, and I have no history, I can tell you that. I'm here brand new. I just came here. I just came here being present. I have no idea about something that happened a moment ago. It is completely gone. I literally can't remember it. It's gone. So you can join me in that experience and seeing okay, maybe there's nothing to hold on to any of this. Let's let go of this. Why not? Why not? There's an opportunity because I know what I have. I already know that the reality that I'm seeing as real is not really what I want at all, because it is limitation. It is something I know, all of this, but it's not my favorite dish, so to speak. And it goes even further than that. So the places where it goes further is the idea that if you think that any of this that you perceive is reality, actually what is happening with you is that you are not thinking at all. And actually it is that you are, it's like sympathizing with death. You're in complete denial of reality, of the reality with a capital R. Is that, see, that brings it to a place where you feel the discomfort of it. It's like, yeah, I don't really realize it, but actually it is, yeah. If I take this as my reality, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. So here's is then the answer, or here's the alternative with a capital A. And you will not get that. You will not get that the way that you think that you're going to get it. So that is, in order for you to recognize your deadness, if you allow yourself to admit that, then there's hope, because then you see like, okay, well, this is not it. I know that for sure. This is not it. The limitations I put upon myself and the world that I see has nothing to do with this truth about me. So yeah, I admit that it's like, if I keep doing this like this, I'm just on a path of death. I'm just sidetracked into nothingness. I'm literally taking a detour into a dead-end street. See, and then you've recognized this before, if there's such a thing. You can recognize it right now. This is that in order for you to, one moment. So in order for you to come in touch with your reality, you will have to let go of this, what you think that you are. So that is basically, you die daily. So since you're on the sidetrack of death anyway, it is not a big step to die to your humanhood. It is not a big step. But see, the recognition first that you're on a dead-end street is important. There will be no solution for you in that detour. There's no solution for you right there. So you can try, you can keep going, or you return and say like, okay, well, the hell with it. That is not my reality, and this is not what I want. I admit that I'm dead when I follow this path that way, seeing that I have to suffer and that I'm limited, that I'm lacking, and that I'm in sickness, pain, that I still haven't seen few of dying, living in a time, space, bondage. So this is what we're talking about. And then the one that is seeing this, that's not the true you. So there's a big difference between the true you and the one who is experiencing this. So that's why we say like you have to die into it. You have to be born again. We read that the other day. Like you have to be born again. That's literally true. Otherwise you will not, say, experience your true nature, your reality of who you are. So today there are a couple of lessons that will help us with that. So one of them is lesson 8, and it's also a great lesson. So I'm using it just to have a reference to our book that we use as our, say, guide out of here, our guide to reality. It tells us what to do. By applying these lessons, actually something can happen. So that's why I'm using them. For me, is the quickest way out, so to speak. So lesson 8 is on page 295 of the Urtext. And in the blue book, you have to look it up. Lesson 8. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This idea, of course, the reason why you see only the past, this idea is, of course, the reason why you see only the past, because your mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. That's even logical. The mind's preoccupation with the past is the cause of the total misconception about time from which your seeing suffers. See, your seeing suffers from it. Your mind cannot grasp the present, which is the only time there is. It therefore cannot understand time and cannot in fact understand anything. The only wholly true thought one can hold about the past is that it is not there. And it's not here. To think about it at all is therefore to think about illusions. Very few minds have realized what is actually entailed in picturing the past or in anticipating the future. The mind is actually blank when it does this, because it is not really thinking about anything. Alright, so this is the basis of what we use in, okay, yeah, my mind is preoccupied with the past. So that's very obvious when I'm actually noticing my thoughts, when I'm taking a look at them, like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about yesterday, oh my god, what happened? This happened, or oh, I'm really worried about tomorrow because, oh, this and this and this. Like, yeah, that's not there, that's just like the past, that's the future is just like the past. Like it is from the same source, so to speak. It is a preoccupation with something that is not here. So that's with your thoughts obvious. So that's really great, because you don't have thoughts about right here, right now. It's impossible. You don't do that. You know, so that's the same as in conversations with anyone that you have. Like the conversations are mostly always about what happened yesterday. Or watch the so-called news, the old news. That's always about the past, about something that is over. And you actually at the same time then, notice this well, you're actually letting that dictate how you are, like it dictates how you are seeing yourself. You're actually identifying yourself as a figure in this time, having this information around yourself, letting yourself be influenced by it, and really thinking that that is you. So that is one of the strangest things that we do, and we're so accustomed to it. So my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts, and it doesn't do that just by accident. No, there's a reason for it, why it does that. Because it actually is keeping up appearances. It literally keeping up appearances. It keeps up appearances. Otherwise the appearances would collapse. There would nothing be left of it. Because where are we talking about? About something that is over. It doesn't exist any longer. So yeah, you're keeping up appearances. So you appear yourself in your appearances too. Isn't that something? So you create a dream in which you can literally manifest your appearances. And you see yourself in it too. And that's why it seems to be hard to wake up out of it, because this figure in this dream, the figure in this projection, in these appearances, this figure is not real. So in that dream, it starts to ask questions about what life is and how we're supposed to look at all of this. And it starts to question, who am I? You know, and within a world of appearances, that's great. That's great. That fits so well, because you can keep yourself busy with it. It gives you something to do. So it's continuing the appearances. Wow. What a mind bleep. Wow. See, the last thing you're going to do about it is laugh about it, because it's like, no, you took it pretty serious. See, I'm using a lot of beep words, but I think I even have on my little thing a beep noise too. I will use that another time. So it is like unbelievable what you try to do here. It's unbelievable. And you're so good at it that you really believe that you're stuck in your appearances too. So who am I talking about? To whom am I talking in this moment? Well, here's the thing. You actually invited me to come into your dream to tell you this. That's why I'm doing this. I have no need to share it with you at all. I have no need to tell you how your dream is working. No, you enjoy yourself in it. Why would you want to listen to me? No, but see, there's something. You had a little crack in your dream. You had a little split right there, a little pause that you took, in which literally there was an opportunity to enter in for me to tell you this. That's really true. That's really true. So that's why it's so amazing if you're stuck in it, if you are stuck in the appearances that you're so familiar with, not realizing that they're over and that you're not thinking at all. You literally need to be shaken a little bit. It's like, hey, wait a minute. Wake up. You created this yourself. You created these appearances and you're keeping them up. Stop doing that. You don't need to do that. You can let go of that. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? See, the amazing thing is something happens while you just stay right here. Something happens to you when you are listening to this. Because something is listening in you that recognizes this. See, but that is not you. Because the you that wants to continue the appearances will be present with you after this half hour or after this 20 minutes or even now it's sitting next to you probably. And that is the amazing thing of it. So now for one moment you had a glimpse of the way that you think and the way that you are, say, dealing with appearances. See, then the greatest thing now then is we're just going to continue, and you will have another appearance. You will have another glimpse that will come to you. Because what I'm going to share with you now has everything to do with the 40 days to Christ's second coming. These are reminders of the Christ in such a way that it blows your mind completely. And so this is another one. And this actual text is not coming from here whatsoever. It's not coming out of time, or from time itself. No, it literally came from out of time, from an awakened whole mind who is not fooled by appearances. So it doesn't know anything about the appearances that you walk around with as your reality. And that's a pretty amazing idea. So here you are. Here's your the lesson that we're going to use. And because we use in this miracle sessions the Course in Miracles a lot, it's good to realize that it's a course in miracles. So that means also to come from the one vision that you have as a human being into Christ's vision would take a miracle. And so this is helping you with that. That means that you can allow this miracle to happen to you. And you will feel and see why. So I'm using parts of it. So all the descriptions that are in here that have Christ's vision as words in them, I will use those. Because they absolutely blow your mind. I'll put them on the website too, or can share them with you by email, whatever we want to do. But it is like, that is so amazing. So bear with me, I'll do one at a time. So this is happening on page 368, lesson 159. So there's a bit of introduction here. I give the miracles I have received. No one can give what he has not received. To give a thing requires first you have it in your own possession. Here the laws of heaven and the world agree. But here, here they also separate. The world believes that to possess a thing, it must be kept. Salvation teaches otherwise. To give is how to recognize you have received. It is the proof that what you have is yours. You understand that you are healed when you give healing. You accept forgiveness as accomplishment in yourself when you forgive. You recognize your brother as yourself, and thus do you perceive that you are whole. You recognize your brother as yourself, and thus do you perceive that you are whole. There is no miracle you cannot give, for all are given you. Receive them now by opening the storehouse of your mind where they are laid, and giving them away. Okay, so now here we're now you're going to be bombarded with Christ vision expressions, and it's so beautiful. So here we go. Christ vision is a miracle. It comes from far beyond itself, for it reflects eternal love and the rebirth of love which never dies, but has been kept obscure. Here's another one. Christ vision pictures heaven, for it sees a world so like to heaven that what God created perfect can be mirrored there. Christ vision is the miracle in which all miracles are born. It is their source, remaining with each miracle you give, and yet remaining yours. Christ beholds no sin in anyone, and in his sight the sinless are as one. Christ's vision is the bridge between the worlds, and in its power can you safely trust to carry you from this world into one made holy by forgiveness. Christ's vision is the holy ground in which the lilies of forgiveness set their roots. This is their home. They can be brought from here back to the world, but they can never grow in its unnourishing and shallow soil. They need the light and warmth and kindly care Christ's charity provides. Behold the store of miracles set out for you to give. Are you not worthy the gift when God appointed it to be given you? Judge not God's Son, but follow in the way he has established. Christ has dreamed the dream of a forgiven world. It is his gift whereby a sweet transition can be made from death to life, from hopelessness to hope. Let us an instant dream with him. His dream awakens us to truth. His vision gives the means for a return to our unlost and everlasting sanctity in God. So I really love this lesson for that. It's like, So for now, let's just stay with this for a second. So for instance, with this, Christ's vision is a miracle. Christ's vision is the miracle in which all miracles are born. See, it is like the emphasis is on miracles here, because the Course in Miracles is a Course in Miracles. It's not a course in, say, the establishment of your enlightenment. No, it is a pathway to it. So, and the miracles is literally the means for it. So then a good question is, what is a miracle? You know, what is a miracle? So, and that is great to ask that. So we will be still and take that in as a question for ourselves and let it be revealed to us. What is a miracle? What is a miracle? How? Not that I need to understand it, but what is a miracle? So let's take a moment for that, to just be still and listen to that. Yeah, so that's amazing. So you cannot come up with a description, you cannot understand it, and you cannot, explain it to yourself. That is what is so great about the miracle, you know. So let me see. There's this beautiful description too. That's in the. No, I cannot find it just like that. Anyway, that's all right. So you see that if you start to come into a different experience of yourself by say allowing yourself to admit that you don't know, and that you have taken your appearances as your reality, suddenly you start to hear that's the case, you know, just like you had in the beginning. So in fact, the fact that you can hear that is really also a miracle. Like in the recognition that this limitation, this idea of limitation that you walk around in during the day or in your experience of yourself is not what a miracle is. You know that. So they can happen during your day, absolutely. But then something happens to you when you experience it, because one of the characteristics is really that you feel the connectedness with your brothers. It's like, oh my God, whatever this was, it doesn't even matter anymore. It doesn't even matter how this is looking, how it has nothing to do with form whatsoever. But there's a deep connectedness that I feel, and that just came to me just like that. See, that is a miracle, and that is what you want to invite for yourself. So this is the best time to do that. Allow yourself that space. Allow yourself to have a different experience of yourself. So that is really lovely, and that is so available. Like literally, that is your entitlement. You're entitled to miracles. Okay, so this is lovely. So thank you for putting up with me and listening to this, because I started it with the idea of what's going on. You know, what is this? Like you're keeping up appearances. Suddenly you see that you don't have to do that, and that there's a vision, a Christ vision, that is, say, completely blowing all this away, so to speak. It is all not what it looked like, and that is so amazing. Like, no, your reality has nothing to do with this whatsoever. So another way of teaching that is where I grew up with, so to speak, and that's the idea of, okay, we're leaving this continuum. We're leaving this continuum that we call our existence, because we see that has nothing to do with life. Literally, I'm the life, I'm the truth and the life and the light, the love. That is my reality. It has nothing to do with trying to struggle for survival, or trying to get a good job, or trying to who knows what. All the goals that you set while still thinking that this world is real and thinking that you have to establish yourself. Like, no, this is an invitation to leave this all behind in a way that's going to be shown to you. Like, it's literally related to how much are you willing to let this go, and how so what opportunities are there for you to do this, literally. So that's a great way also to look at it. So the idea of, if you tell yourself, imagine that I would leave right now, leave everything behind that I have established for myself. What do I feel when I say that to myself? Is it just completely scary, or do you have like reservations? Is this a good idea because I'm in this kind of situation? Will that still be there? See, all these concerns are good to come up, because you're actually discovering for yourself where you still feel the bounds to the dream that you actually say value, and that's why you see it. So this is then the other way around. It's like, okay, are you ready? Are you coming with me? Are you ready to leave this? And leaving this is really like giving up your investment out of it. Not as much as leaving your body or anything. It's like, no. Are you willing to give up your investments in this world of appearances? And are you coming into an experience of wholeness and love with me? Are you willing to laugh at your dream, or are you going to take it serious? That's another way of saying that. So this is then the invitation and the possibility, to really hear this. All right, so what I would love to do is read the prayer of today, which is the one we read last night too, but I still love it. I don't know why it attracts me to share this. I'm forever an effect of God. So I want to read this to you. Father, I was created in your mind, a holy thought that never left its home. I'm forever your effect, and you forever and forever are my cause. As you created me, I have remained. Where you established me, I still abide. And all your attributes abide in me. It is your will to have a son so like his cause that cause and its effects are indistinguishable. Let me know that I am an effect of you, of God, and so I have the power to create like you. And as it is in heaven, so on earth. Your plan I follow here. And at the end I know that you will gather your effects into the tranquil heaven of your love, where earth will disappear and separate things unite in the glory as the Son of God. Let us today behold earth disappear, at first transformed, then forgiven, fade entirely into God's will, into God's holy will. So you see in this lesson too, it's like, or in this prayer, you see it too. It's like, oh, you see Earth disappear. Like, are you ready to leave this behind? Because that's a requirement in experiencing something else. And are you returning back to planet Earth, so to speak? Yes. But this is coming in touch with your extragalactic nature, with something that is beyond the limited ideas that you're so familiar with. So that is so lovely expressed here. All right, so thank you so much for being with me in this and listening and receiving this for yourself. And hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.